Presentation features Sun Prairie School District with a panel of students who will share their stories of school and their intended futures. First, I'd like to introduce the panel moderator, Lisa Heipp. Lisa's in her 4th year as principal at Sun Prairie High School and 9th year as administrator. She enjoys the energy and enthusiasm that comes from the students and makes every day an adventure. Lisa says she couldn't think of anything better to do than support our Sun Prairie students. Please welcome Lisa and the student panel as she introduces them.
I don't think we'll need the mic. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead. So thank you for inviting us this month to your gathering. We do love to talk about the really great things that are happening at the high school, and really the great things are only possible because of the really phenomenal students. So it's always about the kids, and you're going to meet some really wonderful representations of the high school today. The I guess focus for today was rising futures and talking about how education has shaped people and prepared our seniors for life after high school. And sometimes when I think about school in a really narrow sense, you think about like, well, I'm learning things to get a grade. Like, I just want that A in calc, or, I want to do really well in econ, or how am I going to do in history? But learning is really not ever about the grade, and it's not just about a real finite, for 36 weeks I'll learn this, and then I put it aside and I never think about it again. Because it is about a culmination of 13 years of schooling and how you're prepared to then go out into the world and do whatever you can imagine. And so that's what we're really going to share with you today and what we're really proud about, because these students in front of you have put forth lots of concerted effort and shared a lot of talents with each other and with our community, and now we're going to set them free and see remarkable things. So down on the end in the pretty pink, that's Tori. And so they've done so much, I'm going to refer to this. So Tori Sharp, she's taken some of our tech ed courses. She's been in Link Crew. She's a member of Student Council. She's on track. She's a member of Athletes Committed. She takes AP courses, and she is joining the Naval Academy in a few short weeks. So that's Tori. And Liz is sitting next to her. Liz is a member of Forensics, Drama Club, DECA, SAD, Madrigals, Theater Productions. Also takes AP courses. She's leaving Thursday for Nationals in Forensics. She won Excellence in High School Music Theater Outstanding Lead Performer, a Tommy Award, in her portrayal of Paulette in Legally Blonde, so maybe you all got to see that. And right now she's putting together an application package, perhaps, that will land her a chance to go to New York and take some study there and perform on Broadway for a little time. So we'll see what happens there. Paul is sitting next to Liz. And Paul is one of our football players in DECA, Athletes Committed, AP courses. And Paul manages our school store. And so talk about real-world application. Paul has to manage the money. He has to oversee the people. He has to talk about product. Just this week we met as he pitched the new idea of Sun Prairie Blanket and how we're going to work that into the school store. So really has some great experience and helps keep things moving. The school store, you'd think that the center of our high school is what happens in the classroom, right? Okay, so sitting next to Paul is Jesse. And so Jesse is in History Club, Soccer, DECA, Athletes Committed, Student Council, NHS. And in addition to all that, she spearheaded our MBA fundraising efforts for DECA. And so maybe you had seen things in the community, or you heard about Owen's Army, and that was Jesse's campaign. And so she helped sort of plan for that and really brought it to light, and it was great work. And so lots of kudos to you for that. Also, I don't know if I mentioned AP classes in there too. So, and then Tom is here on the end. And Tom is involved in swimming, Athletes Committed, Student Council, NHS, Link Crew, and AP courses. And in addition to all that, Tom is just one of our great leaders in the school who is one of those folks that people gravitate to. They like to spend time with Tom. He's just a genuine nice guy. So this is our panel, and I'll let you talk a little bit about, I guess the first thing maybe to share is how long you've been in a Sun Prairie school and what some of the other schools you've attended other than the high school as a way of just introduction.
I'll start. So I moved to Sun Prairie the summer before my 5th grade year. So I spent most of my education in Sun Prairie schools. The big difference between where I used to live, Port Washington, the schools there and the schools here, is that they were a lot smaller. We had like class sizes of like 10 kids in some classes, and that was like normal. It was very small, very individual classes, and one thing that I really like about Sun Prairie is even though we have larger class sizes and a huge amount of kids that we have to work with, I still feel like every student gets some individual attention from all the teachers, and they get, you really get to pursue whatever type of activities you want to. You know, like we have everybody here who does all sorts of different school like extracurriculars and stuff, and it just really like, even though we have a graduating class of about 500, each one is still like, each student is still viewed as an individual and gets a lot of attention.
All right, I don't know if I can top that, but I've been in Sun Prairie from kindergarten till now, so I've always gone here, and like Tom said, I love how everyone is just viewed as an individual, and everyone has their own special qualities that Sun Prairie has allowed us to have. And I started going to school at Royal Oaks, and everyone always complains about how Royal Oaks doesn't have any walls and how it's so different and stuff because it just has dividers. But honestly, that was like my favorite part, was not having walls and being a different school. So I really liked going there for elementary school, and then on to Prairie View, and then the high school. So it's been really great having such great schools to keep going.
I've been in Sun Prairie my whole life too, but I went to Sacred Hearts for K through 8th grade. So I know that it's like a smaller school too, like Tom said, when he came from Port Washington. So I was a little worried when I came to the high school about that, but they do really treat you like every person's an individual, not just a student, and they really do want to help make you succeed as much as you can.
Yeah, so like just about everybody else here, everything's pretty much covered, but yeah, I've been going here my whole life. I started out at Northside Elementary, and then I went to Patrick Marsh, and then I got the 1 year at the old high school, and then, all 3 years at the new one. And it's just been really great to, come from a smaller little portion of elementary school and then going into the bigger pond of like, oh my goodness, you are different from me. And then just being able to go to even a larger place. And I don't know, I guess I thrive with having more people to compete with, just because I feel like the pressure just makes me want to do more and just excel with whatever I can.
I actually went to school with Paul since kindergarten, so I went to Sacred Hearts. My favorite part about going to Sun Prairie is the number of activities and having such a large group of kids. We're able to compete in like D1 sports. We're able to have great sports teams. We're able to have great forensics teams, great plays. We probably have more AP classes than most schools, and I just really like all the options. You really can find, everyone can find something they love. Everyone can find friends that they relate to, and I just love that we're so diverse.
I'm pretty old, but I don't know, what's an AP class?
So AP, anyone want to explain?
Okay.
Okay.
They're advanced placement classes, so pretty much they're like a normal class but an honors class, and it's supposed to be taught at like a college level. And at the end, we just got actually finished. In May, you take an AP test, and this is distributed by the College Board. And it's on a scale 1 to 5, and if you get a 5 or a 4 or a 3, it's counting as passing. And depending on what college you go to, they count it as college credits. So then you can get credits from the college there, so you save a lot of money.
Thank you, great.
And in the last 4 years, we've gone from about 220 students in AP classes to about 450 students taking AP classes. So this year was our highest year of AP enrollment, and we had, again, about 450 students take 790 exams.
What percentage of that is the students that are in the AP?
What percentage?
Yeah.
Well, again, 450 students out of about 1,500, so just about a third of our kids are taking AP.
Great.
And it's really, most of the AP classes are for juniors and seniors, although we do have a sophomore AP US History. So right there, we kind of excluded our sophomores for a little bit until they get into junior and senior year. So one of the things that we'd like to talk a little bit about is how you feel that school prepared you for what you're going to do after high school. So maybe just talk a little bit about what your future plans are and how you feel schooling here helps support that.
I really thought I took all the ideas, so we can start.
All right. Well, I'm going to the Naval Academy next year, and if you guys don't know, if you ever heard of West Point, it's like the Navy equivalent for that. And so schooling really prepared me for that. First of all, it got me in, and second of all, it's next year it's going to be very stressful, and you just have a lot on your plate. There's academics and your military duties as well as athletics, and I think school really prepared me with the stress levels. It's going to be harder, but with balancing sports and clubs and academics, just trying to weigh my responsibilities and get everything done. So I think it helped organizing my time.
I'll be attending the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater next year for a minor in arts management and a BA in theater performance. And then after that, I plan to go to either Penn State or Stanford and get a MFA in theater performance. So I really just want to do one thing that I never thought that I was able to do, but with having the education that I have here and especially the teachers that I've had, they've just shown me that I can do so much more than what I actually think I can. And yeah, I mean, you can always get the people that say, yeah, you're really good at it, but you can always think, no, I'm not that good. But when you have teachers that are at Sun Prairie High School, they really show, this is what you're good at, this is what you can thrive at, and they'll, push you to do even better. And although we may not like it all the time, it really it's helped me as a person to realize that there's so much more than, what we think we can accomplish. And just, knowing that I have a really great education behind me, and I was placed into a higher level foreign language class, and that's even helping me feel more prepared with knowing that right off the bat, if I pass that class with a B or higher, I automatically have a certification in Spanish. So just knowing that I have some great education behind my belt and some great people that were able to make me who I am going into next year will make me feel a lot more comfortable with my decisions.
I'm going to UW-Oshkosh next year to pursue a business degree. And as Ms. Heipp said before, running the school store has really helped show me what I'm going to have to do in the business world in the future. And that it really has opened my eyes to how much diversity there is in business. When people think, when I thought business before, it was just, oh, you go to work, you work in a cubicle, or you work in a store. But really, all of those are connected together by doing different types of things. And during the classes that I've taken in the high school has really shown me how to make those connections and make it really a better place to be and a better work environment in the future. So that's really one major way that the classes at high school have prepared me for my future.
I'm attending UW-Madison next year, and kind of like Tori said, just managing time has really helped me through high school, and I know that'll prepare me for next year. I was involved in a lot of clubs and extracurriculars and sports, so being able to manage my time, even with AP classes then and a job, that'll definitely carry on through next year, because I still plan on being involved in a lot of things, such as Young Life and other clubs at Madison. Not only that, but Ms. Heipp also talked about how I was involved in DECA, and that's helped me think about different career paths for next year. I'm still undecided as to what I'm going to study, but just the different clubs and different activities and classes have really helped me broaden my horizons with different career paths I might choose, and the different classes that I've taken have also prepared me for that. I've taken things from AP chemistry to photography to just see where my interests are. So Sun Prairie High School has really had a good opportunity for that.
Next year I'm going to Notre Dame to study biochemistry and hopefully complete their pre-professional program in school. And kind of branching off of what Jesse said, one of the great things about Sun Prairie High School is our wide variety of classes. Since I know I want to do something in sciences and go on to do into the medical field, between last year and this year, I took AP Chemistry, Genetics, Biotechnology, AP Biology, Anatomy, Physiology, and Medical Terminology. So I got to take a lot of classes that specialize in the area that I want to go into. And I mean, before this year, I didn't know what an enzyme was. And now I could probably talk about them for longer than any of you care to listen. So a really great part about what we have at Sun Prairie High School is there's such a wide variety of courses. They cover so many topics that you can really get into classes that you want to be in, you're interested in, and really will help you out in your future.
And before we turn it over to you for questions, so think about what questions you'd like to ask the panel. I'll selfishly ask one question. If there is a way to keep improving what we do for students, something that, I mean, I think we're really good, but you know, there's always things that we can do better. Do you have any suggestions for me? Things that we can do to help make the course offerings, ways that we conduct the school day, alternative scheduling, whatever it is, sky's the limit. What could we do to help make things better? I know I just threw you a curveball.
It's hard. I think my biggest pet peeve going through high school is having like peers that are very, very intelligent, or in the athletic department, like very, very athletic, but they don't put their full effort towards whatever they're doing, and they have so much potential, is motivating them more. Like, I know we're trying to motivate them like through all these activities, through like these attendance like policies and stuff like that, but it's just, if we can find a way to motivate the students to become their best, it's not only helping just them, but it's helping the people that are already trying, because competition makes everyone stronger. That's my only thing, but that's hard.
I guess the closest thing that I could think of would be, like, obviously I stated that there's a lot of college prep in it, especially with AP classes, but I think another way, like if we really wanted to push students, would be having a block schedule. That way you get more used to what a college scheduling kind of looks, their college schedule looks like. But other than that, I mean, you can look at it two ways with how we have such a wide range of classes that students are really able to dabble in anything and everything that they could actually think of. But then there's also the other spectrum where it's, if like Tom said, that he like took all of these anatomy and physiology and chemistry and all those classes, I think that's also it's a great way to specialize with what you want and everything like that. So I think we have a nice balance between being able to choose enough and then being able to go in deeper with each thing.
I mean, the only thing I can really think of is to keep like expanding the course offerings so you can get things like, I know last year we had a sports and history class that really like a lot of kids took because it was like an interesting type of topic. And we keep doing things like that is really the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, the only thing that popped in my mind was actually what Liz said about the block scheduling, because I've had friends from other schools or cousins from other schools that have talked about how they love block scheduling, but then I think about it, I don't know if I'd want to stay in one classroom for that long, because I kind of like how long our class periods are, but in a way it would be nice to be able to learn for the first half of the hour and then be able to do your homework, because I know a lot of the time you get home and you look at your homework and you're like, oh, I have no idea how to do this, so it'd be kind of nice to be able to get the extra help that you need then.
I'm going to go along with what Paul said and just say that adding on to the course and stuff is good.
Good. Thank you. Questions from you?
The young lady on the end, I don't remember, obviously grades are not a problem for her, but what else would you have to do to qualify for the Naval Academy?
Well, I've taken 9 AP courses throughout my high school. I had ACT score, and then I've actually competed at state 3 times in volleyball and track. so that I've been an officer for 2 years in student council. I'm NHS vice president. I'm just involved in a lot of, I help found Athletes Committed. I'm just like in a lot of clubs and other activities. Service is a big thing for me. I love helping out. I did a mission trip to China I was in China for a month, and I helped out in an orphanage. So, I don't know, my main thing was I really want to give back to people like you that give me opportunities. I was actually adopted from China when I was 6 months old. And since then, I've just been given countless opportunities from my humble beginnings. So I'm just so happy to be where I am today. And I think that serving the country is the best way to give back to everything. So.
Well, as a grandson of a friend of mine from Andover, Massachusetts, started the Naval Academy next year to be a Navy SEAL.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. He'll be in my class, class of 2017, so it's exciting.
So it sounds like most of you started out at the old high school and then went to the new high school, which is amazing after taking the tour. What do you think is like your number one thing that you like about the difference with the new high school?
Well, I would have to say, as a member of the swim team, that my favorite part of the new high school is definitely the swimming pool. When we started out the swim team my freshman year, we had from all four grade levels, we had 10 students. And with the addition of the pool, we had 10 students. We had to take a bus every day to the forest and back. We'd leave school right after school, get back at 7 o'clock at night, and we'd have to do our homework. You know, we'd only have a couple hours before we had to go to bed because we had morning practice the next morning. And with the new pool, I believe this year we had over 40 kids. So in the 4 years I've been there, we've quadrupled in size, and went from competing in D2 along with the Forest to finishing in the upper half of our conference this year. So I think that the addition of the pool has really helped build the culture in the swim team, which is something I always like to see, and also in the school in general. We offer a lot of gym courses through the pool, and taking those gym courses, I've seen a focus on a lot of water safety, and a lot of like learning how to swim, learning the strokes. So it's kind of strengthened like the school's involvement with swimming and water safety.
Anyone else want to share what you thought as sort of the...
I love the PAC, which is the Performing Arts Center, and I've been so fortunate to be a part of it. I mean, I remember walking in the first day for our musical auditions and thinking that it smelled like a barn because of like the new wood and stuff, and every once in a while it'll still smell like that, but and we're able to host a bunch of things too. Like for choir this year, we had a group of a cappella men come in called the Cat's Pajamas that you may have seen either in person or in the newspaper. And we were able to raise a bunch of money for our choral department, but also like our band is able to use it in our orchestra, and I mean obviously our productions are able to use it too, but we're also able to give back then like to the community and have like there was a dance concert the past couple days in there, and just having a bunch of people. We're having Malcolm Douglas, who is one of my favorite musical composers, come in on the 28th, and he's gonna conduct our music program that we have, or our music show that we're putting on. And so we're able to bring a bunch of like big people to Sun Prairie and then get our name back out there. So not only are we helping the students, but I think we're also able to give back to the community that way. And I know that going on to other like bigger productions that I'll be doing, I toured Whitewater's musical area, and it's not nearly as nice as what we have here. So I was very fortunate to get it for 3 years.
I really like how open and bright everything is, because personally when like I have a lot of light, it just lightens my mood and makes me happier and want to be there. So I really like that. And I'm also pretty involved in the, I take like tech ed classes like woodworking and engineering, and I think it's just cool. We have such a good workshop, and not many other high schoolers have that opportunity to work with that the tools. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then also I'm involved in photography, so our new photography room is like 10 times better than the one that we had at our old high school. For those of you who don't know, we do all of our own printing and everything, so we have to go in like a dark room and roll our negatives and like get all the chemicals and all that stuff. And the new stations that we have for all that is amazing. And to get into the old high school, to get into the dark room, you had to like go in one door, go in this little hallway, close that door, then open the other door to get into it because you can't let light in. And for this new one, it's like a revolving door. So you just step in and you just like swing around the door, and then you're in the dark room. So It's actually really cool. Ms. Orcutt said that's actually how her college was when she studied photography. So it's really cool that we get that new, not technology, but new advances even in the photography room. So.
Like really having like the state-of-the-art facilities like for the school part and for like the athletics as well has really like helped. Having smart boards in every room and computers in every room, being able to like, and with we switched over from Word to Google Docs, like being able to share presentations and work on group projects has been easier with that. And just the not having to deal with going through old computer systems and having older type files has been easier for projects, and anything with a computer is so much easier now than in high school was.
Other questions?
All you're going to four-year schools, four-year colleges, and there's an emphasis now more towards the tech schools, but the biggest concern is the cost of higher education. Are you finding within your peer group students that really are qualified to go to college are shying away from it, or even tech schools, because of the cost of it? Do you see a sense of, I can't afford to go to college, either their parents can't help or they can't afford the college? Is there a sense of that lack of funding within your group?
I actually don't think so, because there's a lot of financial aid opportunities. And actually last week we just had scholarship night at our school, and Sun Prairie gives such a wide variety of scholarships, and they had them so easily accessed, like on the school website. And there was such a wide variety that anyone could find a scholarship that they could apply to. And I remember seeing people there who got called up for countless number of things and must have gotten a lot of money towards their schooling. So there are a lot of opportunities if you need a little help, and the financial aid is always there, and the high school has given a lot of opportunities to find different ways to get funding. So although it might still be hard and not all of it's paid for, there's definitely a lot of help that Sun Prairie helps you find.
There's definitely the ability to get help it all depends. Some people that are shying away from it are the people that don't really go out and try and get the help that they need for college. Like I know I personally applied for a bunch of